Presenting the transcription feature, Superman! Up in the sky! Look!
It's a bird!
It's a plane! It's Superman!
And now, Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men, and who fights a never-ending battle against crime and injustice, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper. Kent and Jimmy are now on a cruise around the world on the Clara M, last of the clipper ships. Just as soon as the vessel got underway, strange things began to happen on board. In our last episode, we heard Teak Barnaby, mysterious peg-legged first mate, relate the tale of the Whistler, the spirit of a whistling seaman lost overboard many years ago, who was said to return to the Clara M and whistle as a warning of impending trouble. Just as Barnaby finished his story, an eerie whistle was heard. Shortly afterward, Captain Hawkins was lost overboard, but fortunately was rescued by Superman. As we join them now, Kent is busy banging out a story while seated on the deck of the Clara M, southbound for Panama. Listen.
And who can say that we did not hear the Whistler? Certainly it was not imagination on our part. His strange whistle came to us on deck and then receded from us. I wonder, shall we hear it again? Whether we do or not, no doubt exists that there are many adventures in store for us on our trip around...
Ahoy, mate.
Huh? Oh, hello, Jimmy. Just banging out the last few lines of my first article for the Daily Planet.
You sure ought to have enough to say in it. Boy, the things that have been happening aboard this ship.
Well, I've had to play some of it down, such as the captain falling overboard.
Play it down? What for?
Well, in the first place, it just wouldn't do to say the captain had fallen overboard, because that never happens. In the second place, he didn't fall.
Oh, but he did, Mr. Kent.
Now, Jimmy, the captain didn't just fall. He was pushed or thrown overboard.
But he himself said
I
that.
know. That's what bothers me. Something strange about Captain Hawkins, Jim. Matter of fact, there seems to be something strange about practically everything aboard this ship.
Oh, you mean the Whistler, huh?
Well, that's one of them. I said in my article here that it might have been our imagination playing tricks, but we both know, Jim, that we did hear that whistle last night.
Oh, we sure did. Gosh, I've never heard anything so ghostly and eerie.
It was all of that. Just remember one thing, Jim. There are no such things as ghosts.
Yeah, I know, but... Boy, if Superman were with us on this trip, he'd solve this mystery of the Whistler in no time.
You still believe that Superman fairy tale?
Gosh, there you go again, Mr. Kent. I tell you, Superman
All right,
does...
Jim, all right. We won't argue about it. Finish your lessons for today?
Yes, sir. I solved those algebra equations you gave me and finished my English lesson.
Good.
I wrote a composition about Teak Barnaby.
Oh, character sketch of the first mate, eh? What did you say about it?
Well, I just put down exactly what I think about him. I said he was a fierce-looking man with a wooden leg and that he looked like he'd make a swell pirate. That he was a swell guy.
Easy there, Jimmy. You're overworking that word, swell. It's slang, you know, and you mustn't use it too much.
Gee, that's right. I'll watch it, Mr. Kent.
Good. Oh, say, there's Captain Hawkins up ahead with the helmsman. Let's go have a word or two with him, huh?
Sure. Say, do you still think it was kind of queer of Teak Barnaby signing on the way he did?
Something funny about that whole setup, Jimmy. Don't forget, Captain Hawkins had spent days trying to get a crew. No one would sign on. Then suddenly, within an hour, Teak Barnaby signs on, and with him an entire crew.
It does seem kind of funny. I like him and all, and yet sometimes I get a feeling when he's looking at me with those burning eyes of his that... Well, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Hello there, Mr. Kent. Jimmy?
Hi there,
Hi,
Captain. Beautiful day.
Aye, perfect sailing weather. And the old Clara M hasn't lost any of her spark. She answers to your hand like a raisin shell. Jim, lad, can you box the compass for me?
Oh, gosh, not yet, Captain Hawkins. I had a lot of other studying to do this morning, but I'll get to it this afternoon.
Have you seen Mr. Barnaby about?
Aye, Mr. Kent, I have. He's aloft in the crow's nest.
Oh.
Hello? How on earth did he get there?
If it's his wooden leg you're thinking of, forget it. It doesn't bother him a bit. Teak Barnaby is as much at home in the rigging as he is on deck. Hey, look, laddie, how would you like to take the wheel?
Me?
Aye.
Oh, gosh.
Townsman, let the lad take over.
Captain, are you sure it'll be all right?
Aye, she handles like a baby, Mr. Kent. Nothing to fear. Keep both hands on the wheel now, Jim, lad.
Gosh. What? She's alive. I can feel the whole ship pulsing and pulling.
Aye, lad. You've got to take the wheel to know your vessel. Easy there, lad. Easy, steady as she goes.
Gosh. sail up there started to flap something off?
You've got to keep the wind abaft the beam, lad.
Oh, yes, sir. Aye, sir. That is...
Before you let Jim do any real steering, Captain, you better explain most of these nautical expressions to us.
If we're not careful,
Look out!
Quick, man! Great Scott!
What happened?
That belaying pin came down from aloft. Struck the deck where I'd been standing. Mr. Kent, if you hadn't pulled me out of the way, I'd be a dead man. Aloft there, you blasted benighted son of a Christian! Aloft! That's you, Mr. Barnaby! On deck, you! If only the lad wasn't here so I could express myself.
Here comes Mr. Barnaby now. Gosh, look at him slide down that rope.
Sheet, lad, sheet, not rope. And mind your helm. Support, support!
I don't know what to...
Helmsman, take over.
All right, lad, I've got it.
Well, mister, what have you to say for yourself?
Beg your pardon, Captain. I don't take your meaning.
You know what I mean right enough, Mr. Barnaby. That belaying pin fell from aloft. It would have killed me if Mr. Kent here hadn't pulled me out of the way. Oh, how he saw it coming is
Belaying pin?
Aye.
Fell from aloft, eh? Well, now let me see. Well, blast my eyes if it ain't gone.
Gone? What's gone, Mr. Barnaby?
Why, sir, I stuck a belaying pin in my belt before going aloft, and it ain't there now. Must have fallen out.
Such carelessness is inexcusable, man. I'll not have it aboard my ship. You understand?
Aye, sir. Blast my eyes, I can't fathom it. I've never dropped a belaying pin before.
Be careful you don't again.
Huh? Oh. Aye, sir.
I want the foretopmast staysail drop. Lay forward to the men, Mr. Barnaby.
Aye, sir, aye. Way, ship! Way!
Well, I can't thank you enough for saving my life, Mr. Kent. I must say you were on the alert.
Yes, Captain. Something we'd all better learn to do aboard this ship. Well, your answers to those algebra equations are perfect, Jim. Now suppose we examine you on English history.
All set.
We'll do this quickly. It's almost time you were in bed.
Yeah. I sure am sleepy. Must be the salt air or something.
Probably. All right, now, English history. What does 1066 mean to you?
Oh, gosh, that's easy. In 1066, Edward the Confessor died and Harold was chosen king. During that same year, Harold defeated the King of Norway at Stamford Bridge. Then later, William, the Duke of Normandy, defeated Harold near Hastings. And that's really the most important thing that happened in 1066 because it marked the beginning of the Norman conquest of England.
That's fine, Jimmy. Now, tomorrow I want you to read the next chapter, which takes up the completion of the Norman conquest.
Okay, but right now, Mr. Kent, if you don't mind, I'm going to hop into bed. I'm kind of tired.
All right, Jimmy. I'm going to step out on deck for a breath of air before I turn in.
Uh-huh. Well, good night.
Good night, Jim. The air's good. Beautiful night. I'll just take a walk about deck. 4 bells. 10 o'clock. Funny, I can't get that incident of this afternoon out of my mind. Doesn't make sense. Barnaby letting a belaying pin fall like that and then pretending he didn't know it had fallen. Hello. Sounds like Barnaby now. Talking to someone in the shadow of the poop deck. I don't think it would hurt to find out what he's saying. I'll just slip along quiet.
You're told, Limey. That understood? You'll do as you're told.
Well, Tenny, I heard the finest day it was. A ghastly whistle if ever I heard one. It took me to coming aboard this ship, Bones, but that took me out of getting over to help me.
Mention that name of Bones again and I'll break your neck. My name's Barnaby aboard the ship. Teak Barnaby, and don't you forget it.
Barnaby or Bound is all one with me. As long as I get off this tub.
Blast my eyes, Limey, I've a good mind to... Now, you listen. I'm paying you and every man jack aboard a good price for what you're doing. And I'll not have you spilling your mouth about ghosts and such things. You'd best take care, Limey, or it'll go hard with you.
Oh, with Barney the son of the ship in the first point.
You're on now, and you'll do as I say. I'll get below.
Let me take your
Get
gun.
below.
I...
Spoil my plan, Woody. Not while I'm alive and kicking. Oh. That you, Mr. Kent?
Yes, Barnaby. Good evening.
Taking the air, are you? Before turning in?
Yes.
Well, good night to you, sir.
Good night, Barnaby. Good night. Oh, 1066, William the Conqueror, Battle of
flesh. I've been trying to get to sleep ever since Mr. Kent left the cabin over an hour ago. Thought I was sleepy, too. All those dates of English history keep running through my mind. Gee, kind of mysterious lying here in this cabin with the creaking. What? That sounded like... It is. A whistler. Now it's moving off down the deck. Gosh, I'm scared. But I can't let that stop me. Got to investigate. Got to find out whether the whistler is human or it's a ghost. Yeah. Got to pull myself together and follow that whistle.
Well, the plot certainly thickens. What will happen to Jimmy as he follows the whistler? Will he solve the mystery? And what was the meaning of the conversation between Barnaby and Limey? Be sure to hear the next thrilling episode of our mystery story with Superman.
Tune in the next thrilling installment of the transcription feature, Superman. Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman! Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.